Hello Aries, my beautiful little fire babies, and welcome to your bi-weekly reading covering November 1st to November 15th, 2019. Although keep in mind that all of my readings are timeless, so you can go back into the archives and there could be something useful for you there. Likewise, if you're tuning in April 2nd, 2029, hey, okay, hello, I'm Natalie, spelled Natalee. I'm psychic, and today I'll be channeling your energies and repeating them back to you, explaining everything that needs to be explained, and conveying all of the psychic messages that are meant to reach you through this through this tarot reading in these tarot spreads. Okay, so Aries, sun, moon, risings, first house stelliums, Mars aspect heavy charts, and anyone else with any kind of affinity for Aries, and hi to the cross watchers as well. We are covering an amount of time that covers the new moon in Scorpio opposite the Uranus in the early degrees of Taurus. So what does that mean? It means that you are right over here. This is you right there. Okay. And your new moon in Scorpio is going to be right there. It's going to be opposing your second house, the early degrees of Taurus, right over here. So, okay, so just so you guys know, I'm doing psychic tunings in before I begin these readings, and then while I'm cooking the cards, shuffling, I'm going to explain what I got. And what I got for you, Aries, is that really congruent energy with what's happening astrologically. I'm feeling a lot of, it's almost like a blind side, because there's going to be a big shock to all of us with this new moon energy. There's going to be surprises over the next couple of weeks. But with you, Aries, it feels really like something you just didn't know before about yourself and about the people around you. It's really about the people that you're in really close relationships with. So this would be a parent, a child, brother, sister, husband, wife type of a relationship, even with your enemies, anyone you're really close with, and anyone where there's a lot of energetic, strong energies between you two. Because with this new moon energy in your eighth house is the house of intimacy. So I really felt that for you, Aries. I felt more of the Uranian side of it, the Taurian, that Taurus, like, what? So it could be that there's something destabilizing about either a marriage or a partnership. It's the eighth house. If we get, okay, here's how it works. We meet people in the fifth house. That's the house of fun, romance, dates, flings, anything for pleasure, for fun. We get married in the seventh house. That's the house of commitments, who we're committing to, how that relationship plays out is in the eighth house. So you get married in the seventh house. Who does the dishes when is an eighth house matter. Okay, so that's why I feel like what it feels like is that you're looking this way, and then it's like all dark from like here over there. It's all dark, and then now you have like all this that you can see is how it feels, Aries. So I feel like you're going to be, it feels sort of like either a crash course or shock treatment in the form of thinking and feeling what other people think and feel. It really does feel that way. It feels like you're going to be able to understand other people on a much deeper level than you ever have before. That's what it feels like for the Aries that I'm channeling. Okay. And like I said, the shock with the second house, there's going to be a lot about the resources that you have available to you. You could find out that, I don't know, your spouse took all the money in the bank account and like ran away or something. I'm just kidding. But I mean, it's something like that. There is something about, and it's not just your material wealth, like the monies that you have on hand, Aries. It's also your self-value. It's also your ability to create income for yourself. So let's just dive right in. The cards feel pretty cooked, and see what the tarot has to share with us for Aries for the days of November 1st to the 15th, 2019. And if you're tuning in, years from now, there's still something here that's going to help you, okay? If it's resonating for you, just, yeah, I knew it. I'm sorry, Aries, I kind of figured that. With the Tower, with the Pentacle, with the Knight of Pentacles, what this is it's about that second house that I was kind of talking about right before I kind of got into shuffling. There's going to be a rock, or rather a break in the stability that you had. And it feels like it's directly connected with the astrology that's going on. This is the energy flow that's happening for you, Aries. So what we're going to do is create a little game plan for you. We're going to get into all of these energies and figure it all out. And then you're going to have some tools, some advice, and some guidance as to how to move through this, because it's going to be really hard. You're going to be, I mean, feel free to check back in with this video as the days go on, November 4th, November 10th, November, 12th, November 14th, check in to see, because there could be details that you just didn't pick up the first time, or things that you were paying attention to but then missed other parts, okay? So there is going to be a real shock to your financial stability with this new moon energy over the next 2 weeks. And I feel like it's more like the news of it, because I'm getting both with this. It is that your stability, how stable he looks, is being disrupted, but it's also this disruption, I feel like it's going to be immediate and fast, but there's an element of it that's going to actually need some time to play out. So for some of you, it's a divorce, and the news that your partner is telling you that this is over for good, there's nothing that you can do or say, that's the blind side. See, I said blind side. That's the blindsidedness. It's that 8th house intimacy type of shock, and it's coming from the 2nd house, so it's going to directly affect your monies, Aries. But yet the divorce itself could take a while to actually work out. You have to, it's like a whole thing, right? So here's the thing with the Tower, Aries, just between you and I. The Towers show up when they absolutely need to. Something in this relationship, if it's a marriage, we're 2 cards in. So for some of you, it's marriage. For some of you, it's personal relationships. It's other relationships. It's a job. For some of you, it's actually getting fired. For some of you, it's okay. So think of that 2nd, 8th house axis, because I really feel that. I feel that super, super strong with you guys right now. So the Towers come when we need them. The Towers can only strike something that was not stable to begin with, something that was truly, truly rock solid. So if you survive this Tower moment, that's like a moment to pat yourself on the back, Aries. If not, then you have to know that there was something deeply wrong about this union to begin with. There was something really out of place that has to change. But that's what this is. There's something that has to change over the next 2 weeks, Aries, and there's no other way. They want me to tell you it has to change. You can't wait this out. Okay, this is something that I feel like you feel it coming, because the 7 of Pentacles is a risk card. It's putting all of this work, all of this effort into something and not knowing whether it's going to bloom and be a megawatt success, or if it's going to just be a dud and get nothing out of it. You just don't know at this time. So I feel like you're still sort of trying to do some damage control. I feel like you're going to try to put more into it because you're already pot invested. You've already put in 7 Pentacles. You don't want to walk away and start investing into a different, whatever this is, a bush. You'd rather put more into this to try to fix it, add more Pentacles to hopefully get more Pentacles back out and not lose the 7 you already put in. It's a card of investment. That's going to be great to clarify when we get to the extended. The 2 of Pentacles. Oh no. So Aries, whatever this blindsiding element is, and keep in mind, elements of this reading can resonate, elements may not resonate, the whole reading may resonate, the whole reading may not resonate. Either way, Aries, I hope that you derive some value, some insight, some wisdom, some entertainment out of this, whether it's a Scooby Snack day for you and there's elements that don't resonate, or whether it's a Natalinian tonic day and a lot resonates or enough resonates where you've derived some real wonderful guidance as to how to move forward in a situation that I'm describing here for you. Okay, Aries? So what I see here is you're scrambling a little bit. Now remember, this could also be reversed, Aries. So this could be the other person. So you could be trying to leave someone, or you could be putting the Tower moment. You could be, because remember, the 8th house is a give and take. It's the equal give and take in a partnership. You already have the Sun, Venus, Mercury retrograding in your 8th house. With the new moon kicking all of that off, activating all of that celestial energy, it's just the spotlight is totally on. Are you being equal in your personal relationships, Aries? Are they being fair with you? Is it an equal give and take? Is it reciprocity? Has it always been reciprocity? Have you always been fair in your personal relationships? The answers are up for discussion, because there's something that was not equal. There's something that was not fair. And you're being asked by the universe, Aries, to go back, Mercury retrograde, go back in your mind and go back in this relationship and look at all the times that you were not fair, clean your side of the street. Also pay attention to when you were not receiving reciprocity and in what forms you were not being treated with fairness and kindness and respect. You know, pay attention to both sides. Make sure you're really being fair and accurate in this, because it's going to come up whether you want to consciously think about it or not. So I'm trying to give you a heads up to be prepared, although it's going to be a shock, okay? But this is kind of treading water a little bit. This is like trying to borrow from Peter to pay Paul. This is like, oh my God, how, if I had to be on my own, like right now, do I have the resources? Do I have the plan? Do I have the bug out bag? Do I have the cushion of savings to just book it? If I had to leave right now, if I had to just leave my situation, would I be able to get out cleanly and safely and organized and with everything important to me in one or 4 bags, and leave everything else in the house behind? You know, it's like that. I feel like you're a little bit trying to, like, it's like you're trying to hold out hope for it, but then you're getting antsy. Oh, you have to let one go. You have to let something go here, Aries. You have to let something go in order, if you want to save this. If you want to save this, you're going to have to drop one of these pentacles, and you need to make reciprocity the priority, because this is not having a priority. This is 2 things that you say have equal priority, but neither of them have priority because you're juggling both of them. It could be work and the relationship. It could be kids and work. It could be work, you know, it could be family, and it could be like anything. Take that as it resonates. What's the next message for Aries? That's too many cards. I don't want to take that one. It's so like sad. Oh, shoot. That's kind of too many cards too. And they fell weird. What's the next message for Aries, please? I saw something flip. Yep, there it is. Oh, we have a couple of different flips. There's a lot of cards here, though. It's yours. Okay. We have 5 cards. They love doing this to me when I'm like... Okay, we have the Death card, the Judgment card, the 4 of Cups, the High Priestess, and the Emperor. That's like mostly major arcana cards. Okay, this is telling me, Aries, that this is out of your control. I feel like if this is a divorce, you're not the one instigating it. This is something being brought to you. Okay? It could be reversed. Take it as it resonates, but I don't feel it that way. Because of these major arcana cards, this feels like something that's been... This has been building. This Tower moment has been building. It's been just gaining like more and more power. And then with this new moon kicking it off, it's like, it just needed to shoot its shot. And this is definitely something that there's no coming back from once the Death card comes in. I mean, we already knew with just leading it out with the Tower card that we knew that things were never going to be the same. But as if we needed more confirmation for that, we have the Death card, which means that nothing will ever be the same again. So Aries, in your personal relationships, you're really being called upon to think of the other person, think of what they're going through, what they're thinking and feeling. For some of you, it's not even in a relationship, that you're not even in a relationship with someone else. This is like relating to other people. Just generally, when you're in a personal relationship, when you're sharing yourself with someone, when you are interacting, you can do this thing, and this is an Aries thing. I love all the Aries in my life, okay? So I'm not Aries bashing or anything like that. There's this tendency to, Aries kind of rules that me. It's about the I, it's about being selfish, all that stuff. It's not so much about being selfish, it's about knowing who you are, is what Aries is here to really do and to express, is like really who you are. So what your opposite is Libra, which is about being in a relationship, being with the other person, thinking of another person. So Aries, with this 8th house, and we have your 8th house ruler right here, the Death card, with this 8th house activity happening for you right now, there's no way around it. There needs to be an absolute overhaul in the way you do relationships, in the way you relate to other people, that give and take, that reciprocity. You're going to have to think about how other people think. You're going to have to imagine how they feel. And you're going to have to do it clean. You're not going to do it thinking that they're out to get you, thinking that they want what you have, thinking of them in relation to you, in reaction to you. No, it's an honest to God, honest as Adam way to deeply, authentically, because Scorpio cares about authenticity, authentically consider another human being in this personal relationship. Whereas before you were extremely headstrong, and there was that deep imbalance of energies. There was this deep imbalance of, but it's about to be corrected. This judgment is like the do or die. Like it's a work well done, a life well lived, and there's no going back. Like once you go up, you go up. There's going to be something you hear, and like I said, this could be coming to you. Like this would blindside you. This is your partner asking for a divorce, and part of you knowing that it's been building up, but never in a million years considering that your partner would actually say the divorce word. That's what that feels like. And so that could be the actual sound that you hear, the D word, where it causes you to just like really wake up and rise from these, they're coffins. I'm not supposed to say coffins. We're supposed to say caskets, but this is definitely a coffin. Rising from the coffin to really pay attention to what's going on. It's like, and it really feels like it's for your survival. It really feels like it's that much on the line, because financially it looks like you're dependent on this relationship, this person, this situation, whatever this is for you. Okay. Moving on to the 4 of Cups. We're still in the glob of energies here. The 4 of Cups is a little bit of a rejection here. I'm wondering whether you are rejecting this gift, the gift of knowing, the gift of asking, the gift of trying to be fair, the gift of reciprocity, the gift of thinking of another human being. It could look like such a horrible moment for you personally that it might eclipse. You might be going, screw the other people. What about me? What am I going to do if I get divorced? If someone divorces me, where am I going to live? How am I going to feed myself? What am I going to do? And it could just throw everything else down the drain. Okay. Because I do get that energy here where you're sort of resistant. You're sort of resistant to this because you have your own, and you even appeared here. This is Aryan energy. Look at you. You've got these great little Aries rams at each of the 4 corners of his throne. This is your card. This is your energy, Aries. This is you. I don't see you budging. I really don't see you compromising. Let me put it that way. I don't see you compromising. And it's like exactly what the universe wants you to do. Not all of you will make that decision, but some of you are not budging. Like the do or die moment comes and you go, I'm not budging. This is how it's meant to be. I'm meant to be This is who I am. This is who I'm meant to be. This is how God made me. This is who I am. This is how I'm supposed to be. I can't change. I don't want to change. This is who I am. When the universe is change, 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 do or die, do or die. Okay, so it's kind of a big deal. And they're all coming out together. Like all of this energy is coming out together. So it's really difficult. I mean, look at this. On one side, you have your instinct, which is to preserve yourself. Your first instinct is to take care of yourself. Your first instinct is to protect yourself. You know, what am I going to do for money if I'm fired, or if I'm rejected, or if I'm let go, or if I'm being divorced? Some of you will not be able to see what led to this. Some of you won't be able to see that, I don't know, like whatever the work situation is. So maybe the writing was on the wall and you didn't see it, or it's not your perspective of how things are happening at work, but it lands not in your favor. Like the decision comes down not in your favor, and it severely impacts your ability to make money, your ability to, you know, create pentacles for yourself. For some of you, it could be the divorce thing. It could be that even if you're not married, it could be that you're in a very serious partnership, you know, a long-term relationship, and you know, the tower strikes, lightning strikes the tower, and there's this do or die moment, and you go, and you just don't give an inch. You don't give, because the emperor is not flexible. The emperor, it's like what he says goes. So I feel like this is for some of you. Some of you Aries are not going to budge. Your intuition is actually telling you don't budge, don't move, hold your ground. So I'm going to let that land with you guys, because only you can tell whether, like, I don't think you're in an abusive situation, but obviously if you're in an abusive situation and someone's trying to break up with you, run. Okay, just like get out of there. They're doing you a huge favor. Okay. For some of you, it's for some of you, changing and really leaning into this tower moment, leaning into this difficulty is counterintuitive and exactly what you need. And so you're tempted to say no. You're tempted to just reject all of this, you know, this judgment, this wonderful angel of death, you know, and you're sort of holding firm here. So I think different Aries are going to be making different decisions about that glob, because it's literally equal on both sides. You have these two energies. My intuition tells me to just be a little tyrant. I'm making a joke. And then you have these two energies that are saying transform, grow, shed away those parts of your personality that no longer serve you, that never really served you. Think about other people. And then in the middle is that little dude, ignoring the cup, the Holy Grail, and then looking at these three cups. Okay? It's just a lot of 8th house energy, Aries. You should be able to see clearly, though. You should be able to see deeper insights into people. Like, I can't imagine you having all these huge transits and not being in, and like not putting your attention into it. So for those of you who are ignoring it, that's like, I feel like you there's no way you're even here watching this video. Because it's like, you wouldn't seek out a tarot reading on YouTube to figure this out, or to, you know what I'm saying? You would just be like shutting it down. Like, you know, what's the next message for my Aries, please? It's facing some skeletons though, and I can understand how that's like, you don't want to do that. Be careful of debt. They're telling me to tell you, be careful of accruing debt, taking on a lot of debt, taking on more debt. This is exhausting. There's 4 more cards in there for you. I'm sorry, Aries, you're my last read of the day. It's Saturday. I'm ready to go out. I'm just kidding. Okay. So you have 4 cards. You have the Knight of Swords. You have the 10 of Swords with the 10 of Happiness and the Moon. Well, there is an end. It's not what you think, though. I think it's the end of both the emotional confusion as well as the good times that were there, that you did create. This is something that's happening faster than you're really able to that the Knight of Swords is just so fast. It's like it actually is the fastest knight in the tarot deck. So this 10 of Swords is the ending. It's too much. Oh, I just had this in Pisces. It's just too much. Whatever this is, it's just too much. Whatever the Tower moment is, and the Tower moment, the Tower card as well as Uranus transit can be scarring. It could actually leave like real scars, real spiritual, emotional, mental scars on people. So whatever this is, whatever this turbulence is coming up in your life, it is having to do with the reciprocity, the give and take in personal relationships. What I feel like is ending is the question of, do I stay, do I go? It's the end result. I think you're going to go with wow. Okay, just so you guys know, we do, for the bi-weeklies, we're going to do 30 minutes for free on YouTube where I use the Radiant Wise Tarot deck, which are these cards. And then the extended version will have 30 additional minutes, and I'll be clarifying everything on the table with my Rider Die, Rider Waite Tarot deck, as well as pull oracle cards and anything else from the other decks as I'm guided, as the reading is calling for. Okay, Aries. So as an outcome, I'm not going to say, I can't say because I need the clarifiers. I really do. And I'm not going to misspeak. For any of you that are not going to join me on the other side, I don't want to give you disinformation. So I'm doing this responsibly. Okay, so I'm just going to leave this with you here like that, because here's the thing. The Knight of Swords with the 10 of Swords is definitely a swift, quick, fast ending. It's end. It's too much. It's too much. Whatever is going on, it's too much. And I feel like it's either going to be one or the other. It's either going to be the end of the confusion, the end of the emotional sort of highs and lows, the chaos, the end of a dream, the end of, you know what I'm saying? There's just a lot, and they're not giving me anything one specific, that it's really very, without a doubt this. So that's why I'm like going to hold off until we get into the extended, because I just want to speak responsibly here. Okay. And yeah, I can't. I want to wait for that. For some of you, it's not even your decision. For some of you, this ending comes in, it's like look at two opposite ends. We open with the Tower and a Knight, and we close with the 10 of Swords and a Knight. So it's very much threading throughout the entire reading, this ending, I feel like we open with a blind side and we close with a blind side, Aries. So whatever comes up this week for you, whatever comes up November 1st, November 15th, or whenever you're clicking into this reading, it's going to be very, very swift. The pain is swift. I feel like it is going to be painful. This part, the blind side, the news is going to be blindsiding. It's like you think you're having a talk about divorce, which is already a blindside enough, but then you get served with the papers like the next morning, like 12 hours later, 30 hours later, and you're like, whoa, I thought we were just talking about this and now there's papers and now, whoa, it could be something like that. Okay. So Aries, just, sorry. Okay. So keep that in mind. And Aries, if I see you on the flip side, I'll see you very shortly. If this is where we leave things for everyone else, I hope you found some value, at least some entertainment out of this. If anyone needs me with a personal reading, you can book me at theartican.com/tarot. Otherwise, I will see you for the dailies and see you November 15th, mid-November for the next bi-weekly. All right, Aries, take care. Bye.